Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I want to talk to you about tempering your expectations about Palantir. So this video is mostly for new people that are watching the channel. Yesterday I did a video about what my expectations are for Q4 earnings, and that video absolutely blew up. So I think that there's a lot of new people that were introduced to the channel for the first time, and that's amazing. Welcome here. Please make sure you're subscribed. And yesterday's video, if you're not a long-term viewer of the channel, could have come across as I'm saying that after the Q4 earnings, we're going to go to the moon. And that is absolutely not the case. And I want to clarify what my vision is for the future of Palantir and what I think about the company, what is my bull case about the company. So again, this is for newer viewers. And this is my last video before the Q4 earnings, and it's very, very exciting. I think this can be a good video if you're on the edge of starting to invest into Palantir, or if you're thinking about adding more to your Palantir position. So let me just make it so that you guys can see this presentation. So what is, in my opinion, the future of Palantir? So the future for me is the next 10 to 20 years. And in order to be able to see how this company will fare in the future, we need to examine how they did in the past. So one thing that is for sure is Palantir as a company is going to be extremely different in the future. Why do I think that? It's because just in the last 2-3 years that I have been following this company, management has been insanely good at adapting changes, bringing out new products to the market, and really shocking me with how excellently they are executing on their mission. So just since I follow them, they have come up with major products that, you know, all of them have billions of dollars of potential. And it was not in the plan. Like if you were a shareholder, you didn't know that these guys were working on this. They just came up with these things. Okay, one of them was Apollo. Then the other one is FedStart, which is basically leveraging their super high government clearance, and it's allowing new defense startups and AI startups to be able to work with the government. And I don't want to go into too much details because this video is probably going to be long and this would make it super long, but it's a brilliant, brilliant product. And then the product that needs no introduction, which is the AIP. This was their answer to the ChatGPT revolution and really just shows how this management is able to see what's happening and react to it in a fantastic way. So this is not going to stop. They're going to continue doing this, and this company is going to be very, very different. Another thing that they have changed is their go-to-market strategy. So when I started following Palantir, they were known as the company that can't sell. They suck at sales. They cannot communicate their product. There are black blocks. Nobody knows what they are doing. And, you know, all of a sudden, last year in June or what was it? Sometime around there, they came up with this idea that we're going to have AIP boot camps and we're going to invite customers, you know, and we're just going to let them use our product, put their hands on the keyboards and let them use Foundry to solve their business cases in the company. And this has revolutionized the sales of Palantir. And we still didn't, we just know that this is very successful. We don't know how successful that is. That's probably coming out of this earnings. So I believe that Palantir is a company that is going to 10 to 100x from where it is. And this is where you need to temper your expectations because this doesn't mean that it's going to do it tomorrow. So this datum that Palantir is a 100x stock can be true without the stock mooning tomorrow. Did you know that if a company grows 25% year over year for about 23 years, the stock is going to 100x? And if they are only growing something like 19% year over year, they need to do it for 30 years and they will be a 100x company. And Palantir is growing 20%. Hopefully that's what they will announce, but you know, they grew a little bit lower. and we are expecting a reacceleration of growth. And, this allows them that, some years they can grow 40%, some years they can grow 15%. As long as you have this average, you're going to get 100x. And by the way, if we don't get 100x in Palantir in the next 20 years, we only get a 30x. Am I going to cry? No. I'm just saying that this company has this potential. Why is this point repeating? Okay, so what is the stock going to do? So the stock has been up 300% since 2023, and to the newcomers to the stock, this can make it seem like it's impossible for this stock to go any higher. But it's important to understand why the stock went from $6 to $20 in the range of 1 year. And that is because Wall Street didn't get this company. There was general macro uncertainties, and Wall Street was thinking that this is an AI imposter company. They are not true AI. They are consulting clients, and they will never be profitable. They have too much stock-based compensation, and there was just a general misunderstanding about the company, right? And obviously, if you're a consultancy company, then maybe 5 to 10 P is the correct P that you should count with. Whereas if you're a leading AI company, then maybe even a 40, 50 P is a fair P. And that's like a 10x difference between these two valuations, right? So basically, the increase that happened last year was a little bit of reacceleration of growth, but most of it was from Wall Street actually understanding what this company is, okay? So that means that we just went from crazy undervalued to just being normally valued, okay? And why are my things repeating? I don't know what happened here. I apologize for this. So in my opinion, this year, this stock is still a buy. So you just need to ask yourself, it's good to go into the nitty-gritty details, and you should do your own due diligence, and I believe that you should have your own target price for Palantir, and as long as the price is below that, you should buy this company. But if you just extrapolate into the future, or take the future and extrapolate back, ask yourself, is AI going to be bigger or smaller than now? Is Palantir going to be a more influential company in 10 years from now, or a less influential company? You also have to know that Palantir has a tendency of starting a cooperation with a new entity, and then that entity starts to use more and more and more use cases of Palantir. So Palantir scales with the customers, so they have multiple growth vectors, you could say, like they are scaling inside of organizations, they're getting new customers, and they are very, like once your company is used to using Palantir, it's very, very hard to get off Palantir. And I think that the way that you need to think about this company is like some compounders that I have here. So I think Apple is a very good example. This is a company that never really blew up. It was just consistently growing, year after year after year. And maybe in 2018 at $50, you thought, it cannot possibly go any higher. And you just wait a little bit. Of course, there is, pullbacks for half a year or a year. The stock doesn't do anything, but then it continues its rise. And just from 2018, when you thought that it couldn't go any higher, we are at almost $200 now on the stock. And as you go back, all you see is just a steady and steady increase, and really an insane performance by this company. Here's another good example. Netflix, I am referring not to this period. This also might come from for Palantir, but I hope not yet. So here again, if you look, there is periods when the stock didn't go anywhere, but overall, if you just held this stock and you just hodled and not sold it, you did amazingly well. And these two, I think, is what Palantir is going to do in the next 10, 15 years. So the way forward for this stock is going to be that the market is going to better and better understand this company. There is going to be more and more institutions holding this company. The stock price will become less and less volatile. And if you're a truly long-term investor like I am, you just need to hold it all the way through. Probably, this is what you really have to pay attention to. There will be a lot of FUD. In 2023 and in 2022, it was like, this company is never going to be profitable. This is not an AI company. And you know, that's what you had to fight as an investor. That is no longer the case. I think today Palantir is a generally respected company. But believe me, there is going to be a lot of articles that will come out usually at the same time about how this new startup is going to kill Palantir, or the government is conspiring to drop Palantir altogether. I don't know why. It happens to every company. If you look at Apple's golden age in 2018, 2017, in this period when Apple was growing, I remember every year the new iPhone came out, there was these newspaper articles coming out that, this year the iPhone sales is tanking, and, Apple ordered less from their suppliers and blah, blah, blah. And then a few days later, you saw these like, sorry, correction, we got the news wrong, The same with Tesla. You were, when the Model 3 was ramping up, it was like, demand is, waning for Teslas. Nobody's buying Teslas. This is the new Tesla killer. The competition is coming, and that's just FUD, okay? And all you really need to do with this company is just listen to the quarterly calls and see if the company is on track. And if it's on track, just hodl for your dear life. You remember, maybe you don't, maybe you do. This is not a direct quote, but I believe Charlie Munger has said the riches is in the waiting. So I think that will be especially true for Palantir, that, this stock, I think, is going to average 20 to 30% per year. And maybe some years it's going to go up 50%. The next year is going to go 10%. But if you can wait long enough, you are going to get a 100x company. So this is why you need to temper your expectations. You didn't miss the train. I agree that the stock is not as cheap as when it was at $6. But that was an insane period. That's the same as Meta was at $80, Netflix or Nvidia was at $100. And we just have to face it, that time has passed. But at that time, the investment into Palantir was also much riskier. So the higher risk, the higher payout. Now you have, I believe, a compound grower company that is going to be very, very steady for the future. I believe they're going to do fantastically well after this Q4 earnings. And whenever it reaches your target price, if you add to this company, you will do extremely well for the long term. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you got value out of this video. Let me know in the comments if you did. And if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description box below. And that is it. T-minus 1 day until Palantir earnings. Very, very excited. See you guys. I will be on Amit's channel with Arnie live streaming earnings. See you there, and then see you back on this channel as we continue. Ciao, ciao.